Hello nerds, welcome back to another video. Gabriella here. Today is a good day and it's going to get even better because today I am exposing myself for the fraud that I am by exposing all the teen slash YA book series that I never got into as a teen and seem to be staples of the book community. So before we get into the exposing, before I express myself and be vulnerable in front of the world, it is time to subscribe. Click that little bell icon so you can be notified of every new video and so you can join the nerd gang and join our little family of book lovers here today. But first, let's just roll that intro. Let's just get into it. So yes, there are quite a few book series that I haven't read as a teenager. And we're talking, I was a teenager in early 2010s. I started high school in 2010, ended in 2015. So really my teenage years were right in that period of time. And if you were alive during this period of time, okay, you must be. If you're watching this video, please for my soul. But if you recall what the YA community looked like back then, the books released back then, and so many, staples of the book community. And I feel like everyone and their mother has read those, and I have not. And everyone's talking about their childhood favorite, their teenage favorites. And I'm just not in on the game because I never got into any of these book series. Let's just start with the first one. This one's gonna hurt because it's a very, very popular one. I would say for YA, it rivals Harry Potter only, which I did read. Worry not, as you can see. But I also have Hedwig just like right behind my head. So I'm safe for that one at least. But I never read the Percy Jackson series. I know there are a lot of Riordan heads around here, okay? Rick Riordan is your god, is your king. And Percy is, the it boy for you. But unfortunately, I never got into this book series, and that's definitely not a book series I'm going to get into now. There's like a million books, and it just seems like a lot of work. But I feel like everyone's read them, and I just feel left behind not having read them. It makes me very, very sad, to be honest. I do know some people who've read them and loved them, and I've only heard great things about them. But yeah, no, I just never got into that. I was never a mythology kid, I guess. And I remember seeing the movie one time, like at school, like after school or something, or maybe during like a rainy lunch where we had to stay inside, something like that. I remember watching the Percy Jackson movie. Now I know fans of Percy Jackson will tell me it's not as good. Blah, 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 blah. We know this. We know this. It's fine. Worry not. Take a deep breath. Okay, I never said it was good. I never said I liked it. And I will always know books are better than movies. We know this. But yeah, that is my extent of my knowledge and my connection to Percy Jackson, which is hard to live with. Next is another series that feels like it's gripped girls, specifically in the book community, so tight. And it's like, does the devil own you? Does the devil own your soul? I don't know what's going on with this book series. I remember seeing it at the bookstore all the time and being like, maybe I'll pick it up, but never doing so. And somehow I'm kind of glad I didn't, because considering how attached you all are to this series, I didn't need another series that I was going to be attached like that to. But that is the Selection series. Wow. The hold it has on you. Not even really sure what that one's about, to be honest. It seems like someone's going to be selected somehow, and the covers of the books were always girls in pretty dresses. I believe it's being optioned for a TV show, if I'm not mistaken, like a Netflix original. So maybe I'll see what it's about then. But yeah, it definitely was perfect. From what I know about it, I feel like it was perfectly in that YA period of time. Like it was released at the perfect time. It wasn't dystopian, but it was kind of like selecting a girl to be, whatever. I don't know. But, God, the hold this has on you. Whew. And honestly, is there a book talk video that I can watch without this book being mentioned, without this selection being mentioned? Like, oh my god, like, how does this still have a hold on you like a decade later? Okay, like, I don't know. I don't know. Was there pure magic, pure drugs inside that book? Maybe. But I'm staying sober. I'm staying clean, y'all. Next is a series that I did start. I read the first book of this series, didn't read the rest. I said I would, but then I didn't. And I ended up giving the books off to my sister, who's a teenager now, so she can get grappled in it. But that is a Divergent series. So I do know quite a bit about it since I read the first book, but I just never got around to reading the rest. And honestly, considering how mad y'all are about Allegiant, I'm glad I didn't continue. Okay, that's the third book in the series if you haven't read the Divergent series. And I know for a fact Divergent is about basically a society where when you turn 16 or 18, something like that, you have to be put into a different section of the community. And it's a bit like Hogwarts houses, but it's like dystopian. So it's like Hunger Games and Harry Potter made out. And the main character, Triss, ends up being a Divergent, which means that she can fit in any of the houses, but the Divergents are bad. They're thrown out of the society, so she hides. And she goes in the Dauntless, which is basically Gryffindor of Divergent. But yeah, I didn't really get into that one, and I'm glad because, yeah, the suffering and pain y'all went through with Allegiant, from what I've been hearing, I am glad I did not go through with that. And I haven't seen the movies either, and I love Shailene Woodley, but y'all have said such bad things about the movies. I'm not interested to. Maybe if I'm looking for a bad movie to cringe at some point, sometimes you're in that mood, maybe I'll pick up. I'll decide to click on Divergent and the Divergent series on Netflix at some point. So the next is another one, just like Divergent, that I read the first book. I think I read the entirety of the first book and then didn't read the rest. That one I kind of regret, but I'm not feeling the need to continue because I feel like I know enough about it. But that is the Hunger Games series. I remember picking up the first one, reading it. I don't remember finishing it, so now I'm not sure if I finished it or not. I'm pretty sure. And I did enjoy it. It was fun. But I wasn't into continuing with Catching Fire and Mockingjay. It was just not in the cards. A bit like Divergent. And but I do enjoy the movies. The first Hunger Games is a classic. Catching Fire is my favorite movie of the whole series by far. Mockingjay Part 1, Part 2. I mean, it probably would have been way better if it wasn't caught in that whole, mid 2010s, like, whole fashion of doing Part 1 and Part 2. Twilight did it, Harry Potter did it, Hunger Games had to do it too. But Catching Fire is god tier. That was good. Like, if a movie was going to convince me, like, that, I don't want to say that, but it was a great way to convince me to read it, is what I want to say. But it still didn't, so look at that. So the next series I never got into was Matched. I remember starting the first one, and I remember being like, it started with like an arranged marriage. I don't know if the arranged marriage ended up going through, but like literally that's how the book starts, and I was like, nope, shut it. That was really loud. Shut the book, throw it away. That was a no for me.
It's definitely a no for me, dog. The voice is just not there.
Thank you very much. And I just wasn't feeling it. And that is another one that I've seen on Book Talk quite a bit, just like up and around, just like chilling. People like, but weirdly enough, I don't feel like there's that many people who read the entire series. Like, I see the book Match, but I never see the other books in the series, which is interesting. But that was another series I couldn't get into. Even as a young girl, I was like too much of a feminist. It was bothering me, I think. And I don't even know if the arranged marriage happened. I don't remember anything from it. I remember the cover of the book, which girl, green dress inside a bubble somehow. But that was a no from me, dog. And it is another series that I feel like everyone's read but me. So the next series I never got into. I don't know what the actual name of the series is, but the first book's name is Cinder. And I remember growing up always seeing that cover with that foot and that like red shoe. And now they changed the cover completely, so now I have no idea what the book is about. But from my understanding of the book covers from the previous edition, it seemed to be about fairy tales or fairy tale retelling. I'm not sure. But I still see people picking up this series time and time again over on Instagram. People reading it just like now. And I'm just like, whoa, is it that good? But at the same time, I'm not in the same, I'm not at that level. I am not, unfortunately. It's just, it's not calling my name. It's not calling my name. And the fact that I know nothing about it isn't helping. But sometimes it does for certain books. But this one, not calling my name. I have to say, the OG edition, like the book cover edition, pretty classic. Like, could you go in a bookstore in 2010, in the 2010s, without, in the beginning to mid 2010s, without seeing that book everywhere? You could not. You could not, sweetie. There's also one where it's like Rapunzel's hair, I think, and there's like a long ass braid, which is why I think it might be fairy tale retellings, because like the shoe could be Cinderella, Cinder, and then there was one with an apple, which would be Snow White. I feel bad for anybody who's read any of these series watching me trying to understand what it is without knowing anything about it. I apologize for any pain I may be causing you. I will pay for your therapist bills. But yeah, that was, I don't know. But that is my takeaway from this. And yeah, I'm not going to pick it up. But I feel like of all the series, I feel like the ones I mentioned, I don't know. It would maybe be a series I would pick up, but like if I had nothing else to read, which isn't the case, okay? Most of these books on here are unread, so I've got other priorities. Next is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. This one had a hold. I felt like I saw a lot of my non-reader friends reading Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, and I don't know if it was meant to be a series from the beginning, but I remember that cover, that book cover. It was very eerie. You know, the black and white with the little girl in front. It's just kind of scary, to be honest. And I think it's, well, I don't think it's actually scary, but I just feel like the energy behind it just feels wrong. And I think I felt that as a teenager, and that's why I never picked it up, even though I remember seeing some of my friends read it, and they're like, it's really, really good. It's like so different from all the other books, and like, oh my god. And I was like, but the energy, I felt like I was going to bring in an element of like a poltergeist or something into my house. It just felt wrong. I did watch the movie when it came out. Well, not when it came out, like online, like later on, but like I watched the movie like the year it came out, and the movie wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. It was just very weird. I was very confused. And Florence and the Machine did a beautiful song. One of my favorite song of hers is for that movie. So I guess thank you for that. So I owe my life now to Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, but yeah, it just got by vibes, and every book that's come out of this whole storyline, I'm not sure if they're follow-up books or if they're sister books, but anyways, all those book covers just give me the EBGBs, and I do not trust it, so that's that. And the last book series that I have to say, I feel like everyone's read except for me, and this one, I still see adults talking about how this book affected them, rereading it, but I feel like it's more of a low-key favorite. Like, it's not like Hunger Games and The Selection where I feel like people are always voicing how they've read it. I feel like this book series is sort of an underground fave, you know, sort of the emo pop punk album of the book series from the 2010s, but that is Raven Boys. And by Miss Maggie Stiefvater. And I remember starting, did I finish it? Can't remember. My memory is garbage. But also, you're talking about stuff from a decade ago, so cut me some slack. But Maggie Stiefvater wrote that Shiver series as well. And I remember reading the first Shiver book, not liking it. So I wouldn't have seen myself pick up some more Maggie Stiefvater in Raven Boys, so yeah, that could have been a reason. But also, I don't remember hearing anything about Raven Boys when I was a kid. I feel like I've only heard about it now, and everybody's talking, and every time I've heard about it, having people saying that they're rereading it and that it's like their favorite and it feels like coming home, and they have the like symbol tattoo, you know, it's like the, it has a hold on you, but it's like it very much feels like the emo kid pick of the YA of the 2010s, like the wallflower pick. Yeah, is what I want to say. You know, like the I'm cool, but like cool because I'm not cool kind of cool kid. You know what I mean? You feel me? Feeling me? That's what it feels like in book form. Because I don't remember hearing jack squat about it, but now somehow everyone's read it except me. So I feel like maybe everybody on the planet, or at least in North America, had like a secret meeting without me. It's like, hey, we're gonna read it. We're not gonna tell Gabriella. And just went and run with it. But yeah, this one has a hold on you guys that I respect, but that I do not understand. So that is all I have for you guys today, exposing myself to you guys, being vulnerable for you guys. And so if you like the video, don't forget to leave a little thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe. And for the emoji of the day, we're gonna put the little baby emoji because I should have read this when I was a baby reader and I did not. So let's put a little baby emoji. It's very random, very weird. But it'll be a baby emoji for today. And as always, my social medias are all down below. I'm always at GabysPages on any social media, as well as ways to support this channel, my Amazon wishlist, my Ko-fi, my Book Outlet referral code, and my TubeBuddy referral code. And there will be Amazon affiliate links for all the book series that I talked about down below. So thank you so much for watching. Love you all so much, and I will see you very soon in another video. Bye-bye.